Pat Forde, the great columnist from Yahoo Sports, joining us on the program. What's the big question you want answered right now, Pat, covering this story?
Dan, I want Teo to sit down in front of somebody, do an interview, take questions, and I want him to explain, I guess, just the disconnect between, what he has said about his relationship with this non-person and then the fact that the person didn't exist, and it just explain how he was duped and convince people, if he can, that he was not a party to this. I believe he embellished. I still don't believe that he was necessarily in on perpetrating this. But, it's a weird, complicated story. There's a lot of questions I would like to see him answer.
Why isn't he talking? If you didn't do anything wrong, okay, you got duped, you're a little embarrassed. Well, this could get worse before it gets better. I think if you do talk, at least you can explain your side of the story and people can be sympathetic to you. They can say, you know what, we feel bad for you that you fell for this and you just lost your grandmother. And I just think the further along or the longer that he stays away, the more you start to say, what role did he play in this?
Oh, I agree completely. As a matter of fact, I've written something, I don't know whether it's posted yet or not, but for this morning saying he needs to talk and he needs to talk today. To my knowledge, there have been at least 2 occasions when he was expected to address this, and it hasn't happened. I reported yesterday that there was a belief at Notre Dame that he was going to announce it on Monday. That he and his agent, Tom Condon, and Creative Artists Agency were going to do something on Monday. That came and went. Deadspin blew the thing up on Wednesday. Thursday night, I was told by somebody at ESPN and somebody at Notre Dame that he was going to sit down with Jeremy Schaap. Then that didn't happen. So, obviously, the longer this goes on, the more it looks like he is struggling to get a story together or to make a cogent explanation of it. And you're right. I mean, there could be an explanation. He could be a sympathetic character in this. I mean, I still think there is an explanation that would make that the case, but we need to hear it because the longer it goes on, the more the vacuum gets filled with other stuff that casts further doubt on him.
I said that he was represented by IMG. My apologies, CAA, as Pat just pointed out. Good move by Notre Dame to back him fully.
Well, a bold move, that's for sure. I mean, it was no equivocation backing, I thought, from Jack Swarbrick. And the thing that compelled me about that was, they did do a private investigation. They do have a set of facts, and information that they have gathered in this. The private investigator's conclusion was that he was a victim. And I thought Swarbrick put together the timeline very well. And then the third part of it, he was genuinely emotional in defending Teo, and it wasn't right away. It wasn't a made-for-TV moment. It was 45 minutes into a press conference, and I know Jack Swarbrick pretty well. I think that was a pretty genuine showing that he believes in this guy. Now, look, we've all been duped by a lot of people we believed in over the years, but I think Notre Dame, given what it knows, feels pretty strongly about this, and we'll see. I mean, look, Jack Swarbrick's reputation is on the line with Manti Te'o's now, and if Teo comes off if we find out that he is indeed just pulling it over on everybody, then Jack Swarbrick looks awfully stupid as well, including some columnists who have written about it.
He's Pat Forde. Included. Pat Forde from Yahoo Sports joining us, Dan Patrick Show. If Deadspin doesn't break this, what happens?
Yeah, I think it's a much different story. If Manti Teo is coming out with this, or CAA in a release or a statement or a press conference on Monday, I think it's a much different story. I think then, for one thing, you're taking out, or at least mitigating what's being said by anonymous sources in the Deadspin story who are, quote, 80% sure that Teo was in on the hoax. I mean, I thought I was troubled by that reporting. And, I think if Manti Teo is bringing this up first and foremost before everyone else, there's a very good chance that he's being able to get his side out and people are going to believe him more, and Deadspin's story doesn't hit with that just astonishing shock value.
Look, you're a good reporter. I have to believe that you're on something now or following something now. Any thoughts on what happens next in the next 24 hours with this story?
Well, I mean, like I said, hopefully we hear from Teo, and the other person that I think everybody wants to hear from is Renaya Tuiasosopo, who is the person that Deadspin has identified as the person behind this hoax. And I, quite frankly, I'm surprised that nobody has gotten a word from him, or even video of him walking away with his hand in the camera lens or something. He's gone pretty far underground. I think clearly that's somebody we want to hear from. Notre Dame players, I think that know Teo. It would be good to hear from them. We really haven't heard much from that standpoint. Some of Teo's family has talked, but I think there's still a bunch of avenues left to check into.
Thank you, Pat. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, Dan. You too.
Pat Forde, Yahoo Sports.